last week I was talking to a friend of mine, and they said they had bought a bread maker. And then he said something that seemed completely crazy to me, and he said his wife made jam in the bread maker. And I was like, seriously? So I bought a bread maker. All right. So this thing does a lot. This is the Amazon Basic Bread Maker. It does all these little functions here. You got your basic French bread, whole wheat bread, quick, sweet bread, gluten-free dough, kneading, cakes, express, jams, yogurt, bake, and homemade. And it comes with a little cup and a little scoop and a little hooky thing to get the thing out of there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get some ingredients and find out how this bread maker works. So stay tuned.
You're going to be in the back.
All right, everybody. Me and Linda, are going to make some bread, and we're going to make some butter. So what we done is went ahead and pre-measured everything. We're going to make some honey wheat bread, and I think we're going to make one thing of honey butter and one thing of regular butter. So we bought this new bread maker, and we are going to try it out. So what we got 1 1/4 cups of water.
We have our recipe right here.
All right, what's next, Chris?
1 1/4 teaspoons of salt.
Oh, got the salt right here. Okay.
2 tablespoons of butter.
2 tablespoons of butter. Okay.
2 tablespoons of honey.
2 tablespoons of honey. Now, I was told, I don't know if this is true, but we were supposed to put in all our liquid ingredients first. So that's what we're doing. And the very last thing we're supposed to do is put the yeast in. Actually, this honey's kind of sticky.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
1 1/4 cups of flour and 2 1/2 cups of whole wheat flour.
Yeah, I mixed it all together. It's already pre-measured and in here. So we're just gonna have to.
There's no
Spatula back here. Okay, here we go. Whoopsie. About dropped it. Well, I'm determined to drop it in. Come on now. Alright.
Okay.
Now.
And 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast.
This is the last we're putting in it. So here's a 1/2 teaspoon.
4 of those.
1, 2, 3.
And 1 more.
And you say 2 1/2 or 2 1/4?
It's 2 1/4.
Okay, I got a 1/4 spoon right here.
Okay.
All right. Ta-da. So now we are going to turn this little demon on and see what it does. So we're making honey wheat bread, so we're going to set it on number 3. All right, and we'll make it medium, 2 pounds. And it's mixing. So according to this, it's going to take like 4 hours, so we'll have to get back to you on it when it's done. All right, but meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and start mixing up some butter. So for the first batch, I think we're just going to make regular butter. all you're going to do is just dump this in and start whipping it.
Is the camera over there?
I hope so.
Looks like it's right here.
So we're going to start whipping this part. I'm just going to set on 3 and let it go. Alright, a little noisy, we'll get back to you. Alright, so we're getting it whipped up here. I'm going to go ahead and add some honey to this. Now this is going to have some buttermilk left over in the back of it when we get ready to get it all out of here. So it's actually going to be honey buttermilk, and we'll make some biscuits or pancakes out of that. But right now I'm going to go ahead and add a little honey to this batch, and then go ahead and mix it up some more. I'm just going to kind of swirl a little bit in here. Just kind of guessing on that. I really didn't measure that out, so. Yeah. Alrighty. Alright, let's see what we got going on with the butter now. We got it whipped up pretty good. What we'll do is dump some of this buttermilk out of here first. Probably should have strained that. I have right here a little strainer. Strain this out here. I'm going to have to strain this a couple of times. Out. Let's see, it made quite a bit of butter. The thing you don't want to do is over whip it. If you over whip it, it'll just turn right back into heavy whipping cream. I've got some cheesecloth here. We're going to squeeze it out once we get the majority of the buttermilk out of it. Actually got another strainer right here. Wider, maybe this will quicker. So get all that off there. Hear our bread making. Oh, snap. Oopsie. Oh no. A little bit of a mess over here. Uh-oh. My wife's looking at me funny. I think I'm in trouble. go ahead and strain this a couple more times and I'll get right back to you. Alright, so I finally got it all strained down. I got about, I don't know, half a glass of buttermilk here. We'll make some biscuits or something out of, or pancakes. And then I got almost a whole jar of butter. Or a bowl of butter. Bowl of butter. I'll put this in the refrigerator and let this harden up. And then afterwards we'll show you what it looks like. Honey butter. Alright. So, here's our butter. It's all done. We went ahead and put it in the fridge, made it nice and hard. See? Looks just like butter, except for when I drop it on the floor. And our bread is finished. Ooh. This puppy's still hot too. This little tray for actually look like this. Oh, I need a little plate.
Okay.
You got a plate?
Just one little.
No, just regular. Alright. Ooh, that puppy's still hot.
There's powders.
Holy cow. Look at that. Wow. That's not bad for our first loaf of bread. What do you think, dear?
Yeah, it looks yummy.
Yeah.
Let's
Look.
try and see.
We bought a bread slicer just in case we did good. Alright. Here we go. Oh, that puppy's hot. Look at that steam come off that thing.
This is our honey wheat bread.
Yeah. I got our butter a little too cold. Here we go. Oh dear, wanna try that?
It is really good.
Is it really good? You know, this loaf of bread only costs us like 50 cents to make. And this butter, which will probably last us like 2 or 3 weeks, was only $3. Plus we got buttermilk out of the deal too, so we can make biscuits with. So, all in all, that's pretty cheap. That's fantastic.
It's yummy.
Heck yeah. Well, we'll see you next week. I hope you all have a great week. Alright, there it is, all sliced up. Honey wheat bread. Oh yeah, the good stuff. Hey Linda, what kind of crafts you making there?
I am making decorative shells. And as you can see, I'll show you a few. These are not quite done, but I wanted to show you kind of how to make them to come out nice and shiny like this one, even though this one's bigger. So the first thing I do is I paint the shell, and I paint it white so that You can put just about any kind of napkin or tissue paper. So I'm painting it white, and it'll come out like the one I have up here. So here I'm just painting the whole thing white. And usually you paint it, and then you paint the top half, and then when it dries, you turn it over and you paint the inside. So this one's painted now. And then after I paint the shell, I add my napkin. Well, my Mod Podge. So I'm going to take the one that I already painted and it's dry. This I use Mod Podge. And I take a little bit. I'm just going to do the outside. So I Mod Podge the whole thing on the top of the shell. And then you take, either you can take tissue paper or napkin. If you get napkin, you have to, when you get the napkin, you have to tear it apart so that the two layers, so you have one layer that you, this is what you're going to put on the whatever you're decoupaging, and not this one. So, this one, I use tissue paper, which I have right here. And I cut out another little one. So this one I Mod Podged, and then I put the tissue paper on it. And so then the inside, you Mod Podge the inside. That one's already dry. And this, you just Mod Podge this part. You don't want it too thick, you just want it to, just a layer. And then I cut out, to fit on here, I just cut it out. And then you just lay it on your shell. And then you just work your way outwards and to have it stick. And then once it sticks, you let that dry. And then after you let it dry, you take a, where's my little fingernail file? Oh. So then you can either use like an emery board or one of these, or sandpaper, and you sand the inside of along here, so you can get the paper that's inside.
You mean off the edge?
Off the edge, yeah. So I'm just kind of doing that, and then you just kind of take it off. It should peel off pretty easily. And it takes off the overlap, like from this one, because see, it overlaps. So once you do that, it'll take all that off, and then you can Mod Podge the inside. Which I did that one. And then you can Mod Podge the inside like I did this one. So after you Mod Podge and let it dry, and you take this off, And then after it, you know, it's all nice and dry. Then what we do, we take, put another coat of the glossy Mod Podge. And you want to make it thin, so we just brush it over a little bit. And then you let that dry. Anyway, and then after you let it dry, then what I do, I take, this is Treasure Gold, and I put,
You can just dip the brush in there.
just the brush, the little brush. Okay. Oh. And,
Here you go.
okay. And then you just paint around the edges, and it makes a nice decoration. And you can put jewelry in it, like earrings or, you know, a necklace or,
Christmas ornaments.
yep. So it's still kind of wet. And there you have it. Oops. And it comes out nice and shiny when you get done. This one I put glitter on it, so that's why it's shiny. And that's our shell.